Hi guys, so today we are going to be doing Lesson 3, Chapter 10, Measurement, Length, Area, and Volume. So let's get started. Question 1. How many mouthfuls are in a gill, a cup, and a pint? So for us to do this problem, we are given this information right here. We have our little graph right here, or our chart. And first, let's figure out how many mouthfuls are in a gill. So as you see, 1 jigger is equal to 2 mouthfuls. And this is a doubling system. So what we are going to do is we are going to double this number, which is 4. So 2 jiggers equals 4 mouthfuls, which equals 1 jack. Then we are going to double this number again. So 4 times 2 is equal to 8. So 2 jacks equals 8 mouthfuls, which equals 1 gill. So 8 mouthfuls are in 1 gill. And then to find out how many mouthfuls are in a cup, we are going to double this number again. And 8 times 2 is 16. So 16 mouthfuls are in 1 cup. And now, to find out how many mouthfuls are in a pint, we will double 16 mouthfuls, which is 32. So now we have 32 mouthfuls in 1 pint. Let's go to question 2. So for question 2, we have to find the area and the perimeter of these triangles, A, B, and C. So to find the area of a triangle, you have to know the formula. The formula for the area of a triangle is A equals 1/2 base times height. So let's begin with part A. So as you see, our base is 82.3, and our altitude or our height is 48.0. So we will plug in these two numbers. So 1/2 of 82.3 times 48.0 is equal to 1,687.15 meters. Now to find our perimeter, we have to add all of our sides together. So we would add 48.0, 69.0, plus 82.3. And this is equal to 199.3. Let's go to part B. So again, we plug in our numbers and we find that our base is 88.8, our height or altitude is 37.0. So 1/2 of 88.8 times 37.0 is 1,642.8. So this is our area. Then for our perimeter, we add all of our sides together. 88.8 plus 37.0 plus 96.2 is equal to 222 inches. Now let's go to C. So we see that our base here is 6.2 centimeters and our height is 2.6 centimeters. So we would do 1/2 of 6.2 times 2.6, which is equal to 8.6. We add up our sides, 8.5 plus 6.2 plus 3.1, which is equal to 17.8. Let's go to number 3. So for number 3, we have to figure out which is larger, the area of the region between the circles or the area inside the smaller circle. So inside of our bigger circle, we have a square inscribed inside of it, and then we have a smaller circle inside of the square. And the side lengths of the square are 10 units long. So first we have to know the equation of a circle, which is pi times radius squared. So as you see, our square, the side lengths are 10 units, and the side lengths are the same as the diameter of the small circle. So the diameter would also be 10, which means that our radius is 5 units. So we plug in our numbers to find the area of the small circle, pi times 5 squared, which is equal to 25 pi units squared. Now to find the area of the larger circle, we do a squared plus b squared equals radius squared, or r squared. And we do 5 squared plus 5 squared equals r squared. So 50 equals r squared, and our answer would be 50 pi units squared. So then we do 50 pi minus 25, which is equal to 25 pi. So as you see, the area of the smaller circle and the region between the circles are actually the same. They are not larger or smaller than each other. Let's go to number 4. So for number 4, we have to show that the ratio of the volumes of the cone to the sphere to the cylinder is 1 to 2 to 3. So here is our figure right here. And let's begin. So first we have to know the formula for the volume of a cone, which is volume 1 over 3 base times height. The base of a circular cone is base equals pi radius squared, and the height is 2r. So our volume, we would do 2 over 3 pi radius cubed over 2 over 3 pi radius cubed, which is equal to 1. And next, we have to know the volume of a sphere. So we would do volume equals 4 over 3 radius squared over 2 over 3 pi radius cubed, which is equal to 2. And then we have to do the volume of a cylinder, which is volume equals base times height, and the base of a circular cylinder, which is base equals pi radius squared, and the height is 2r. So we would do 2 pi radius cubed over 2 over 3 pi radius cubed, which is equal to 3. So as you can see, the volumes of the cone to the sphere to the cylinder is 1 to 2 to 3. Now let's go to question 5. So for question 5, we have to name the two figures and find the surface areas of the two figures. So for our first figure, we have a right trapezoidal prism. So here is our figure. And as you can see, we can make two different shapes out of this figure. We have a rectangle and we have a triangle. So we have to know the area of a rectangle formula to find our surface area, which is A equals length times width. We also need to know the area of a triangle formula, which is A equals 1/2 base times height. And then we can plug in our numbers. So it's 17 for this side and 12, which is equal to 204 centimeters. And then to find the area of a triangle, we would do 1/2 9 times 12, because since this side is 12 centimeters, this side is also going to equal 12 centimeters, which is equal to 54 centimeters. And we add them together, and it is equal to 258 centimeters. Then we have to find our perimeter by adding up our sides together. And we do not add the inside side because we are just trying to find the outside perimeter. And this is equal to 70. And then we multiply it by 4 because 4 is our height. And that is equal to 280 centimeters. And then we will do 280 plus 258 and 258 again, since we have two sides of our surface areas, and that is equal to 796. So that is our surface area for that one. And then we have a triangular prism, as you can see right here. So to figure out our surface area for our triangular prism, we have to know the formula, which is surface area equals 2 times the base plus perimeter times the height. And then we have to know our base formula, which is base equals 1/2 little base times height. So let's begin. So base equals 1/2, 15 times 17 is equal to 52.7 meters. And our perimeter is 15 plus 8 plus 17, which is equal to 40 meters. And then we will do our surface area formula, which is 2 times 52.5 plus 40 times 7, which is equal to 105 plus 280, which equals 385 meters. So this is our surface area for our triangular prism. Well, let's go on to number 6, our last question. So for this question, we have to find the surface area, and we also have to find the volume of our solid. So let's begin with part A. So for part A, as you see, we have a cylinder, and we also have half of a sphere on this side and half of a sphere on this side, which equals a whole sphere. So for this problem, we have to know the surface area of a sphere and a cylinder formula, which is surface area equals 2 pi times radius times the height plus 4 pi times the radius squared. And as you see, we have to know our radius, and 8 feet is our diameter of our circle, so we would do 8 divided by 2 to find our radius, which is 4. So we would plug in our numbers. 2 pi times 4 times 21 plus 4 pi times 4 squared, which is equal to 729 feet. Now we have to find the volume of our shape. So our volume formula we are going to use is volume equals 4/3 pi times radius cubed plus pi times the radius squared times the height. So we would do 4/3 pi, 4 cubed plus pi times 4 squared times 21, which is equal to 1,324 feet. That is our volume. And now we have this figure right here. And this formula is going to be a little bit different as we have added a new letter. And the S in this formula represents the slant, which is 6 meters, as you can see right here. So our formula is pi times the radius squared plus pi times radius times the slant plus 2 pi times the radius times the height. So we plug in our numbers, and as you see, the radius is actually already given to us, and it is 2. So pi times 2 squared plus pi times 2 times 6 plus 2 pi times 2 times 10 is equal to 176 meters squared. Now we have to find our volume. So the formula to find our volume is pi radius squared times the height plus 1/3 base times height, or times our second height. And we already know our first height, but we don't know our second height. So to find our second one, we have to do the Pythagorean theorem. So we would do the square root 6 cubed minus 2, or 6 squared minus 2 squared, which is equal to 5.7. So now that we know the second height, we will plug in that number. So volume equals pi times 2 squared times 10 plus 1/2 times pi times 2 squared times 5.7, which is equal to 150. So that is our volume. So thank you, guys.